Are you wondering if it's possible to keep running pain-free through the menopause? Perhaps you've started to get some aches in your joints, your hips, your ankles, your knees, and you're wondering, is this the future for me as a woman in my 40s who enjoys running? Am I just going to have aches and pains forever? Well, not necessarily. And I'm here to tell you a little bit more about how you can prevent it from happening. I'm Coach Nicola and I'm a running coach and personal trainer. I specialise in working with women, and particularly women as they go through the menopause. There's lots of tips and lifestyle changes that we can make now that's going to help us keep running in our 40s and 50s and beyond. So if you want to know if you can run pain-free as you go through the menopause, keep watching. So menopause can bring about a lot of changes in our body, and joint pain is one of the symptoms. There are many ways that we can manage it, and I'm going to go through some very simple tips on how to help you run with more ease as you go through the menopause. But firstly, why do we get joint pain? Well, it's to do with our hormones. So estrogen and progesterone are declining. Estrogen and progesterone are anti-inflammatory, which means as they decline, our body becomes a little bit more pro-inflammatory. Progesterone is also a hormone that helps our muscles to relax. So the decline in progesterone can make our muscles a little bit tighter. And estrogen loves our tendons and our joints. It keeps them hydrated, it keeps them juicy, it keeps them kind of flexible and elastic. So with the decline in these hormones, we can have some aches and pains. But don't worry, we can do things to help mitigate against this decline, to help keep our joints, our bones, our connective tissues in tip-top conditions to help us keep running strong. Now, the first thing to say is it's important to keep moving, keep that motion going. It's what's going to keep our muscles and our joints lubricated, healthy and strong. But if you are experiencing pain and it's debilitating, then that's where you should stop running and go and see a doctor and just see if there's anything else that can help. But these tips that I'm going to let you know are going to be really helpful to anyone who's experiencing niggles and aches, but not necessarily any joint pain. So please, if you do have joint pain, go and see a doctor and discuss it with them. So tip number one is to pay attention to your nutrition and hydration. Hydration, because as I said before, estrogen is what keeps our ligaments and tendons lubricated. So we need to make sure that we're keeping hydrated ourselves to replace that lubrication that our estrogen provides our joints. And the second thing is about that pro-inflammatory state that I was saying about as our hormones decline. So we want to make sure that we're eating lots of anti-inflammatory foods like omega-3s, so plant-based sources would be walnuts, chia seeds, flax seeds, hemp seeds, and then foods like your leafy green veg, which are anti-inflammatory and have a lot of magnesium in them, which are going to help your joints. Blueberries, fresh fruit and veg, lots of lovely colour. Add this into your diet and that can really help your joints, and it can help with other symptoms of the menopause. So 2 in 1. Tip number 2 is always do a warm-up and a cool-down. You may have got away with not doing a warm-up before, but now your joints really need it. Dynamic movements, not just static stretches. Walking is going to help lubricate the joints. It's going to get the synovial fluid going. It's going to get the blood to the muscles. And what it's doing, it's preparing your body for a run so that when you start running, your body's already ready. It's not going to be that stiff, achy feeling as if you do get if you don't warm up first. And just as important is the cool down. So the cool down is kind of where you start your recovery. So it allows the muscles to start their recovery. It allows the joints to kind of ease off a little bit. So warm up, cool down. So tip number 3 is thinking about the time of day that you run. So if you're a woman that runs first thing in the morning before everyone's up, and that's when you're feeling really stiff and achy, try and look at seeing if you can change the time of your run, maybe a little bit later on in the day to the lunchtime or even the evening. That's going to give your body a chance to have woken up, to the joints to have been lubricated just from your movement from the day. But I do understand that it's not always possible to do that. We've got family commitments, we've got work commitments, we've got things we've got to do, and our running has to fit around our life. So maybe moving your run isn't going to be the best thing. So if you have to run first thing in the morning, then I recommend spending 5 minutes at the start of your run just walking. So don't run, walk, get everything moving, then do your dynamic movements to warm up and then go for a run. And hopefully that's going to make your run feel a lot more easier and with less aches and niggles. Tip number 4 is all about recovery. So recovery is a hugely important part of our running. It's when our muscles adapt, it's when our body adapts, it's when our tendons and ligaments adapt. Without recovery, it can make things feel a lot harder. If you don't already have recovery in your day, try and add this recovery time. And it doesn't have to mean you do nothing all day. Active recovery is where we're doing something that isn't running at a much gentler pace. So something like a gentle cycle, nothing really fast, yoga, swimming or walking. These things are going to keep the body moving. It's going to get your joints keeping moving, which is really important, but you're also allowing your body to recover from the running. So either recovery, where you kind of don't do any activity apart from your normal daily kind of motion of daily living, or that active recovery, and that's going to hopefully help your body to recover better, your body to adapt, and for everything just to feel a little bit more easier. Now, my 5th and final tip is still about recovery, but it's about sleep. Sleep is a hugely important part of recovery. It's when, again, our body gets to adapt. It's when the brain kind of gets to adapt. It's really important. And the thing about sleep is that there have been studies showing that with lack of sleep, with disrupted sleep, that can increase our sensitivity to pain. So getting a good night's sleep is really, really important if you're feeling those joints, aches, niggles and pain. But I do understand that during menopause, that is a time when we do get disrupted sleep. It's when we do get night sweats. It's when we can't get to sleep, when our brain might be just whirring around. So getting a good sleep routine is vital. Thinking about what you do first thing in the morning, get outside, get the light, so that's going to reset the body clock, all the way through to the last thing at night. Are you drinking caffeine close to sleep? Are you sleeping in a hot room? Are you watching lots of screen time, that blue light that's going to stop you from sleeping? You want to make your sleep environment as calm and as peaceful as possible, like a little sanctuary, and that will hopefully help you to sleep better, to get to sleep faster and not have this kind of disrupted sleep that can not only be disruptive for your general life, but can impact your running as well. So there you have it, some 5 simple and effective ways to help you to manage your menopause joint symptoms when running. But not only that, all these tips are going to help you manage your symptoms in general, and also going to really benefit your long-term health, so that you can keep running in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s and beyond, so that you can keep running with ease, so that you can keep running strong. So don't think that just because you're going through the menopause that you have to stop running. You really don't. If it's something that you love doing and you want to continue, you really can. And if you found this video helpful, please do like, comment and subscribe, and look out for my future videos.